Scorpio, right now an invisible force is reshaping the events around you. It's not something you can control, plan, or avoid. It's something already in motion, gaining speed, directed specifically at you. And it will happen on the last weekend of September. Swift, decisive, irreversible. Like a blade cutting through years of resistance, fear, and excessive control that have kept you trapped in patterns that no longer serve the person you are becoming. That feeling that something is coming, but you can't quite put your finger on it, as if the air around you is growing denser, charged with an energy you recognize, but also fear. It's the energy of transformation, the one you love and hate simultaneously. The one that awakens and terrifies you, the one that promises liberation but requires you to die a little to be reborn. For years, you've built walls around the most vulnerable parts of yourself. Layers of protection so sophisticated that even you've forgotten what lies beneath them. You've become a master at controlling situations, people, emotions, all to avoid the risk of being hurt, rejected, abandoned, but control has become your prison. And on the last weekend of September, the keys to that prison will be in your hands. The question is, will you have the courage to use them? What's coming will challenge every defense mechanism you've built. It will place you in a situation where the control you so value will be completely useless, where you'll have to trust, open up, be vulnerable, all the things your Scorpio nature finds dangerous. But here's the secret you haven't discovered yet. On the other side of this fear lies a version of you so powerful, so magnetic, so authentic that you can barely imagine it right now. For years, you've observed your life from a safe distance, analyzing, distrusting, and questioning the intentions of everyone around you. You've become an expert at detecting lies, seeing through people's masks, protecting yourself from anything that could pose a threat to your emotional well-being. But this hypervigilance comes at a price. It has isolated you. It has kept you in a bubble of loneliness disguised as strength. On the last weekend of September, something will shatter this bubble. Not gradually, not gently, suddenly and definitively, as if someone flipped a switch and all the barriers you've erected simply disappear. And for the first time in a long time, perhaps for the first time in your life, you'll find yourself completely exposed, vulnerable, stripped of the armor that has always defined you. And you know what's scariest? You'll discover you don't need them. That true strength doesn't come from protecting yourself from everything and everyone, but from selectively opening yourself to what truly matters. That true intensity doesn't lie in keeping everything under control, but in allowing yourself to be deeply touched by experiences and people who deserve access to the most intimate layers of your soul. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 1st, this decisive moment will involve a professional choice or a lifelong commitment you've been putting off for fear of spectacular failure. For those born between November 2nd and 12th, the decision will involve a relationship you've been keeping in emotional limbo because you don't want to lose control. For those born between November 13th and 22nd, the moment will be about finally assuming a personal power you've been denying yourself because you believe you don't deserve it. But regardless of their specific date, all Scorpios will experience the same thing. A direct encounter with their own resistance to transformation. And paradoxically, it will be this resistance that will create the pressure needed to catapult them to a new level of existence. Like a snake needing to shed its skin, the process is uncomfortable, necessary, and absolutely inevitable. Scorpio, I need to pause for a moment and speak directly to that part of you that's feeling a tug at your heart right now. I know you've been carrying a silent weight for so long that it's become part of who you are. I know you look at the people around you living more lightly, more spontaneously, and wonder why everything seems so intense, so complicated, so charged with meaning. I know you've tried to open up before and been hurt so deeply that you promised yourself you'd never let that happen again. I know you watch opportunities for real connection pass you by, because the fear of pain is greater than the desire for intimacy. And I know that deep in your heart, you feel a loneliness few could understand. Not the loneliness of being physically alone, but the loneliness of never allowing yourself to be truly known by anyone. If this resonates with you, if you recognize this pain you've been carrying in silence, I need you to do something for me and for all the other Scorpios watching and feeling exactly the same way. Go to the comments now and just write this: I feel this. No need to explain anything else, no need to expose your whole story, just this simple sentence. Because when you write this, you're not just acknowledging your own experience. You're validating the experience of dozens, maybe hundreds of other Scorpios who feel exactly the same way you do. You're showing someone reading the comments that they're not alone in this emotional intensity that seems incomprehensible to the rest of the world. Your vulnerability in this moment may be exactly what someone else needs to see, to understand that there's nothing wrong with them for feeling things so deeply. Go ahead, write "I feel this" in the comments. Be brave for 3 seconds. You can do this. Scorpio, what will happen on the last weekend of September is not a cosmic accident. It's the culmination of a process that began the moment you were born. Since childhood, you've been different. More intense, more perceptive, more sensitive to the invisible emotional currents that circulate between people. You could sense when someone was lying before you even knew what a lie was. You could sense when there was tension in the air that adults pretended wasn't there. This sensitivity was both a gift and a curse. It gave you powers of perception few possess, but it also exposed you to pain most never experience. You learned early on that feeling everything so intensely was dangerous, that opening yourself completely meant leaving yourself vulnerable to wounds that could destroy you. So you created layers, masks, emotional survival strategies. But now you've reached a point where these strategies are suffocating you, where protection has become imprisonment, where control has become paralysis. The last weekend of September marks the moment where you'll have to choose. Continue hiding behind these defenses, or finally have the courage to show up in the world as you truly are. And here's something that will shock you. The person you truly are beneath all these layers of protection is far more powerful than you realize. You've spent so much time defending yourself from perceived attacks that you've forgotten you were born with the ability to transform any situation through your authentic presence. That your emotional intensity, when consciously channeled, is an irresistible magnetic force. Throughout your life, you've probably received messages that you were too much, too intense, too questioning, too deep, too complicated. These messages made you believe you needed to shrink to be accepted, change to be loved, hide to be safe. But on the last weekend of September, you'll discover that these characteristics that made you feel awkward or inadequate are exactly the qualities the world needs. There's a growing hunger for authenticity, for depth, for real connections in a world that's becoming increasingly superficial. And you, with your natural ability to get straight to the heart of things, to refuse empty answers, to demand truth in every interaction, represent exactly what people are searching for, even when they don't know they're searching. The defining moment that's coming will put you in a situation where you'll have no choice but to show who you truly are. It could be a professional opportunity that requires you to be vulnerable about your personal experiences. It could be a romantic situation where you'll have to choose between control and true intimacy. It could be a family crisis that will require you to use your emotional wisdom to guide others through turbulent waters. Whatever the specific situation, it will require you to access parts of yourself that you've kept locked away. It will force you to tap into inner resources you never knew you had. And in the process, it will reveal a fundamental truth you've been avoiding. You are much stronger than you think, much wiser than you believe, much more needed in this world than you ever imagined. The speed at which all this will unfold may initially scare you. Scorpios like time to process, analyze, and fully understand a situation before acting. But what's coming won't give you that luxury. It will require you to trust your instincts, to act based on your deepest intuition, to launch yourself into the unknown without having all the answers. And do you know why? Because if you had time to analyze everything, your mind would find 1,000 reasons not to do what needs to be done. It would find 1,000 ways to maintain the status quo, to avoid risks, to stay in a comfort zone that isn't actually comfortable, just familiar. The speed of what's coming is intentional. It's meant to force you to act from a place deeper than your rational mind. During the last weekend of September, you'll feel like you're being pushed out of a plane mid-flight. The sensation of free fall will be intense, frightening, but also profoundly liberating, because you'll discover you have wings you've never used, that you have emotional navigation skills you've never fully accessed, that you have the ability to transform impossible situations into extraordinary opportunities. What excites me most about what's about to happen to you is that it will mark the end of an era where you saw yourself primarily as someone who needed to protect yourself from the world, and the beginning of an era where you recognize yourself as someone who has something unique and valuable to offer the world. The shift in perspective will be radical. Instead of asking yourself, how can I stay safe? You'll start asking yourself, how can I use my gifts to make a real impact? This shift in focus will transform not only how you see yourself, but how others see you. Your energy will become magnetic in a whole new way. Instead of attracting people who want to take advantage of you or who are drawn to your intensity for unhealthy reasons, you'll begin to attract people who recognize and value your genuine depth. Scorpio, something you need to understand about what's coming is that it won't just be an external change in your life. It will be a complete reorganization of your relationship with yourself. Years of harsh self-criticism, doubting your instincts and downplaying your importance will be replaced by a deep confidence in your own wisdom and worth. You'll stop apologizing for being intense and start valuing that intensity as a superpower. You'll stop hiding your ability to see through lies and start using that skill to help others find their own truth. You'll stop fearing your emotional depth and start celebrating it as a source of connection and healing. The last weekend of September will act as a portal. On one side, the old version of you, defensive, controlling, hiding behind emotional walls. On the other side, the new version, vulnerable when appropriate, powerful when necessary, authentic in all circumstances. And the passage through this portal won't be gradual. It will be like taking a giant step from one reality to another. You may begin to feel a growing anxiety, as if something important is about to happen, but you can't quite pinpoint what. This anxiety isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that your soul is preparing for an expansion that your mind can't yet fully comprehend. You may also notice that situations you'd normally be able to control are beginning to slip out of your control. People are behaving in unexpected ways. Circumstances are unfolding in ways you hadn't planned. Don't resist this loss of control. It's necessary. It's the universe creating space for something new and better to enter your life. During these preparatory days, pay special attention to your dreams. They will begin to show you fragments of what's to come. Symbols of transformation, death, and rebirth may appear frequently. Don't try to interpret everything literally. Allow these images to work on your subconscious, preparing you for the changes that are coming. Also, pay closer attention to your emotional reactions. You may find yourself more sensitive than usual, reacting intensely to situations that wouldn't normally affect you as much. This isn't weakness, it's your emotional system calibrating to operate at a higher frequency. It's as if your heart is warming up before an important race. Scorpio, when the decisive moment arrives, and you'll know exactly when it has arrived because you'll feel like someone has turned on a light inside you. Don't hesitate. Don't seek more information. Don't ask for more opinions. Don't try to plan every next step. Simply trust what your heart is telling you and act. Your intuition has never deceived you. Even when you doubted it, even when you chose to ignore it, It was always trying to guide you in the right direction. On the last weekend of September, it will speak to you clearer and louder than ever before, and this time you will have the courage to listen to it and follow it, even if it means leaving behind everything that is known and safe. The decision you make this weekend will echo through every aspect of your life for years to come. It will determine what kind of relationships you will attract, what kind of opportunities will open up to you, what kind of impact you will have on the world. It's one of those rare choices in life that truly matters, that truly makes a difference. And the most beautiful thing of all is that you won't make this choice alone. All the wisdom you've accumulated through years of observation, analysis, and intense emotional experience will be available to guide you. All the difficult moments you've endured, all the lessons you've learned about human nature, all the strength you've developed through past challenges, all of this will be at your disposal at the crucial moment. You'll discover that you're not just a survivor of life's intensities, you're a master of them, someone who has learned to navigate the deep waters of human experience with a skill few possess. And now, it's time to use this mastery not just for your own survival, but to create something extraordinary. The last weekend of September marks the moment when you stop simply reacting to life and start consciously creating it. Where you stop protecting yourself from possibilities and start opening yourself up to them. Where you stop fearing your own power and start using it to transform not only your own existence, but the existence of everyone fortunate enough to cross your path. When this weekend is over, when the dust settles, when you look back and see what happened, you'll realize it wasn't just an event in your life. It was a rebirth, a symbolic death of everything that limited you, and a real birth of everything you ever had the potential to become. And you will know, with a certainty that comes from the depths of your soul, that every moment of fear, every second of uncertainty, every instant of vulnerability was worth it. Because on the other side of this transformation lies a life that is truly yours, a life that resonates with who you are at your core, a life that honors your depth, a life that celebrates your intensity as the extraordinary gift it always was. Scorpio. If you've made it this far in this video, it's because your soul has recognized the truth of what's being shared. It means you're ready to receive what's coming, that you have the strength to navigate the transformation and emerge stronger on the other side. Share in the comments how you're feeling right now. What sensations emerged as you absorbed this message? Your experiences may be exactly what another Scorpio needs to read to feel less alone in the intensity that characterizes our way of experiencing life. Subscribe to the channel because what will happen on the last weekend of September is just the beginning of a transformation that will unfold over the coming months. You'll need guidance on how to integrate the changes, how to maintain your new authenticity in challenging situations, and how to use your renewed power constructively and lovingly. What's coming isn't something that's happening to you. It's something you're creating consciously or unconsciously because the time has come to take your true place in this world, not as someone hiding in the shadows, but as someone who shines with a light of your own, authentic and impossible to ignore. The last weekend of September is coming. It's coming fast, and it will be absolutely decisive. Prepare yourself not to survive it, but to flourish through it. You were born for this moment of total transformation. And when it arrives, you will be ready.